Hey everybody, before we kick off today's episode, Antonio T. Smith Jr. here, and I just want to tell all of you that if you're an avid learner of self-growth, if you want to change the quality of your life, I'm one of my major events, WonderCon 2024. It's almost here. The dates are March 17th through March 22nd. That is 2024. And you can go to the website inside the show links to get to all the information there. It's in Houston, Texas. There's also a bunch of opportunity for online tickets as well, so you can watch the event live. Plus, you get the opportunity to keep the video for life as well. With an array of expert speakers, including myself, interactive workshops, and a plethora of experiences, it promises to be a transformational event that you've never seen before. Please know in person, there are limited spaces available. And get all the details to secure a spot on the show notes. Antonio T. Smith Jr., you can plant better, you can dominate.
All right, I'm going to move out of the way and let our CEO, Mr. Antonio T. Smith Jr., take it over. Mr. Merritt, you have been discussed, mentioned, honored as one of the people who actually changed the trajectory of Antonio's life. I am here to tell you today that Antonio T. Smith Jr. is running for president of the United States.
What? What? What?
Yes, sir. He is registered with the FEC as well. So he is officially running for president of the United States.
Candidate for the presidency of the United States of America?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And we wanted to come speak with you. First, I would like to know, as being the person who changed the trajectory of his life, how do you feel about that? And also, well, let's do that one first. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm blown away. I'm blown away. That's why I repeated it. I'm blown away. Number one, someone from little small Galveston Island, no more than 50,000, a person from his humble background and his beginnings to start in speech and debate. And more than anything else, speech and debate is supposed to instill confidence. So you can imagine that word confidence, and now the city, he's going to run for the highest office in the land. I'm blown away. That's why I repeated it. I'm blown. And I'm proud for him, because if I had any impact on his life.
And it wasn't until I was in high school until I met a man who would later become my mentor. His name was Michael Merritt. You see, Coach Merritt was the coach of the speech and debate team, and he saw something in me. And as everybody gave up on me, he looked at me and told me you have a gift for communication, but you have one weakness. You don't listen. He would then take me under his wing and force me to do a speech and debate tournament. And I got in there with my gifts and my arrogance, and I lost my first term. And the judges wrote on the paper, "You're gifted, but you're too loud."
To the point that he feels confident enough to do something that phenomenal. That blows me away. So, I'm happy for run, boy, run like you stole that lady's purse. No, just kidding. No, number one, that's phenomenal. I mean, number one, to take on, because I believe in the statement, I think it was Martin Luther King, it says, who quoted the Bible, "He who would be greatest, let him be the servant." And I think politicians should serve, not for ego, not for accolades, not to say that my name is being recognized, but you are there to be the greatest because you're there to serve, especially those who feel as though they don't have a voice, who wasn't born with the silver spoon, or people say pull yourself up by your bootstraps. What if you don't have boots? What if financially, family, you didn't have that support system? So a politician, being a servant, is the one who's the voice, the mouthpiece for the person who feels as though I'm the least, I'm the lost, I'm the lonely.
He said, son, if you just listen to me, I will make you a master of communication.
Right.
So I listened. I listened to Michael Mary, I listened to Mr. Mary, and I never lost a speech tournament again. 20 plus major tournaments, and I even took all high school to state. 20 plus. All because I listen.
No one really cares about me. I'm not middle income. I'm below the poverty level. I'm not high income. I don't have a 401k. You know, I may not even have a job. So to say that I want to be the mouthpiece or the servant of the least, the lost, the lonely, says a lot about him and his calling to serve humanity.
I love that. The least, the lost, the lonely.
A lot of us are like
love that.
That's it. That's it. Wow, what made him want to do this? What inspired him to want to do it? Because the field is, the Democratic field right now, who are vying for the nomination for the Democratic Party, is up to over 16, I think.
He's running independent.
He's going to run independent, like Bernie Sanders did last year.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And he's doing it for the very reason you just said. For the 97% of the Americans who are the least, who are the lost, and who are the lonely. The single mother who has to go to work every single day, but still can't afford to put a meal on the table.
Working 2 or 3 jobs, right?
For the senior citizen or the retiree who has to decide between their insulin or their gas or their electricity bill.
Or the rent. That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. Medicare or Social Security that is being threatened potentially to be, curtailed or cut off completely. Wow.
The teachers.
Well, don't get me on my soapbox now. Who are so underpaid.
Yes.
But we are facilitating the future leaders
Exactly.
of our country, and yet still some of them are working second jobs to make ends meet, and they're trying to serve and everything, sometime out of their own heart, because financially, and Texas being one of the main ones, Texas is considering right now whether to give teachers a raise, but it's long overdue, whether it's going to be the 5,000 or less. Hope it's not that much less. It's long overdue for the product. You can't just say our new version this year or our new model or we're going to change direction. We are facilitating and producing our future leaders in all facets of society. So.
Yes, sir. And I actually want to thank you because you actually did serve and nurture and educate one of our future leaders.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for that. Because
My
without
pleasure.
you, Antonio wouldn't be who he is today, and we wouldn't be who we are today.
Oh, that means the world to me, because I'm only doing it. And my high school coach, who got me started here after being out of football, after being dismissed from the football team, the worst day in my life wound up being the best day of my life, because God has a plan that we don't know of. The speech coach who says today, I give her too much credit. She's the one who encouraged me to join the speech team. And from now on to college, to be mentored under her college coach, to come back full circle back here to Ball High, and to do the very thing that I'm trying to pay it forward. I'm only trying to do for others who are walking across that bridge that I've already walked across. Not for ego, not for shape, form, or fashion, but if I can help some mother's child, that's what my mom used to say, help some mother's child to realize their dream. So I'm only paying it forward and not doing anything innovative. I'm just showing my gratefulness and my gratitude by helping the next generation. I may be dead and gone. I turned 65 on Friday, Good Friday.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. 65 years young.
Yes, sir.
And now, I don't know how much longer I have here. said, it doesn't matter to me now. I want to just continue to do the mission that God put me on this earth to do. And for 43 years now, or 42, going on 43, because I'm going to do one more year, I've been just trying to be true to that statement, helping someone, being a servant, helping some other's child, and showing the gratitude to my high school coach, what she instilled in me. So, run, boy. I'm happy for you. Whatever I can do, I'll do. But I thank you because, again, I remember Grace, and I remember you as we talk now. I remember you guys coming through. So now to come back full circle to your old high school alma mater and then doing what you're doing, my hat's off to you. And I say Godspeed. Okay? Wow, you're blowing my mind. You're blowing my mind. Okay, God bless you. God keep you. All right. So y'all are working with him now. Are y'all part of Les Brown as well?
Yes, sir. We are Les Brown certified, as well as we're getting Antonio T. Smith Jr. certified because he now has it's called the Bureau of Dominant Speakers.
Wow.
And he is training speakers.
Okay. All right.
And
Good.
certified.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. All right.
We also wanted to know if Antonio could come out and speak to your classes as well. He said he'll do all 8 classes.
Okay, all right. Tell him yes. There's a process you have to go through by being a speaker. I do first. There's a process you have to go through, going through the administration building to get certified. Because anybody who comes into the schools have to go through a background check. And a certain, if he's running for president, that won't be just a formality. Tell him to check with the administration building. And that phone number is 409-766-5100. 409-766-5100, and they will tell him all he needs to do, bring a driver's license, and then they'll do a quick background check and then give him the certification that, like y'all, when you come into the door, he know he's certified and everything and cleared out to speak to minors, okay? And then we can take it from there. He left his phone number, so I'll talk from there. We all rounding up the 18-19 school year. So sometime in May or whatever, or early May or something would probably be perfect.
Awesome.
Cool?
Yes, sir. Thank you
That's
so
right.
much.
My pleasure. Thank you. Good to see you both. I mean, and Godspeed. Y'all continue doing what you're doing because somebody's looking at you and saying, I want to do what they're doing. And then when you can empower somebody with confidence, you've changed the world.
Yes, you definitely have done
I'm
that.
going to stop now before my eyeballs start sweating. I don't cry. My eyeballs sweat.
It's my allergies. It's my allergies.
Allergies. That's allergies. You got it. Take care. God bless.
Today I am successful not because I was born in the right family I was in. Not my arrogance. The truth is, I am successful because of mentors, only operating in my gift and listening. There is nothing in life that you cannot do. There is nothing that you cannot accomplish. If you think it is automatically yours. But you will only get that moment if you find people smarter than you. If you operate only in your gifts and you listen. Thank you.
Okay, jazz hands. Thank you. Thank you. I have an agenda for starting off with that video. Deanna, I think you should go first in this little period. Say something, and I'll let you know. Then we're almost up to your hour anyway. Go ahead. Speak ye now.
I remember that interview, and it was so nostalgic walking back in that school. Oh my goodness.
You've lost a lot of weight
And we
too.
did it. Oh, I was looking at that too. I'm like, I'm so happy I got locks because that fro was not froing. Let me tell you, that fro was not froing. And then I remember exactly, like we were in front of the entrance to my favorite place in the entire school, which was the auditorium, because while I was in theater, I was not a thespian, but theater was my favorite place to be. It was my place of freedom. And I had an amazing teacher who actually retired and came back. He's back at the school now. And so, but actually meeting with with Coach Merritt again and seeing him after all those years and knowing he's retired now and comfortable, and just it's a feeling of, man, so this is where it all started. Because you used to tell us about Coach Merritt all the time, like and you even told us about the first debate that you had, and you wore that loud suit.
It was like, it was a terrible emerald green, terrible, shiny too. I looked like a pimp with too much cologne on.
Ooh,
Yeah, for sure.
but it just, there's something in the air at Ball High. I spent 2 years there, and it just is, it's to know that a lot of great people walked those halls, and now you're amongst those great people who have walked those halls. It was just so awesome just going back.
Fair enough. Thank you so much. Grace, unmute your microphone. She called in today. And the funny thing is, Grace has called me before the call. So we will see if Grace, anything you want to say? I'm not even going to leave.
Okay. I remember that video that we recorded that day.
Grace was behind the camera, y'all.
And just him speaking. I just remember being in his class as well. Being in this class as well, knowing him, and just the great man he is, and how much he's taught a lot of people. But Antonio was really one of the people that really took it to heart. What's that? He took it to state, and that he continues to speak with the training that he got at first from Ball High School, from Coach Merritt, and it was really a good feeling. Like Dee was saying, just anytime I go back to school, I love being in the halls, just looking around. I think they're doing even more construction now to make it, even newer or whatever. But that day was a good day, and I love how much he spoke highly of you, and just hearing his wisdom and how his speech and debate teacher taught him. So it was a good day that day.
Yes, it was. I sure appreciate you. Oh no, no. Diana asked if I was crying. No. I can't.
I asked if your eyes were starting to sweat.
Yes, that's what you asked. That is what you asked. Well, I showed that video for a reason, but as all suspense thriller writers would do, I would make you wait until after the quality of life check to find out why, which is in 3 minutes. I will say this. Bam. I will say this. Many of you, I've talked to Ina specifically this morning via Instagram, and then Grace called, and then Dion yesterday via text message with Deanna, and then just a few other people. And I can tell you that you are in a seat, well, not you, but second person plural, y'all, what we said in Texas, but my master's degree makes me say you. Y'all, the whole world, this is a season of confusion. And allow me to explain real quick. The universe is correcting itself, but before anything gets corrected, it typically gets confusing or violent or ambiguous before it corrects itself. It's like, before you do the spring cleaning, the whole living room gets messed up first, and then it gets clean. Before the weather can fix itself. It gets violent and creates a hurricane, tornado, thunderstorm before the peaceful day. This is the algorithm of nature. So I would tell all of you in this wonderful, blissful season of ambiguity, don't cancel anything. Just create what you don't have a need to cancel. Just let that hang in there for a while. You don't have to fix things. Energy can never be created. It can never be destroyed. You can't fix it anyway. Fixing is a folly. It's a fallacy of man. What you can do is make sure you create things you never have the desire to fix. Let that be a word among you. I talked to Amir as well. Just process that. We
Wait a
got
minute.
plenty to say. Say it again.
Repeat what you just said before you said I talked to Amir as well. Repeat what you just said.
And you do not have to fix anything because energy can never be created. It can never be destroyed. So your job is not to fix things. Your job is to create the things that you never have a desire to fix. That's science. Okay. You do not need religion to catch that. You cannot matter is here to stay. Once it is here forever. As Tracy just said in the chat, I heard you say that before, but it hit different today. Once matter is here for thousands, sometimes millions of years. So once you have a character flaw or whatever, somebody else, it's here to stay. Your job is to own that, receive that, let it wash over you, ebb and flow, and then simply create another piece of matter that is also here to stay, that you experience and enjoy. You can never get rid of what's created in your life. The goal is to deliberately create what you enjoy while ignoring everything else. That's the goal. Deanna, we are at our quality of life check. Would you help us out here?
Yes, because today we're going to talk about finding joy in small wins. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, grand rising. Today I want to talk about something that often gets overshadowed in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. The importance of finding joy in small wins. Life in a company, actually just life in general, is a series of challenges and victories, both big and small. It's easy to focus on the big milestones and forget the significance of the smaller achievements along the way. Let me share a story with you about Ada, a colleague of ours who truly embodies the spirit of finding joy in small wins. See, Ada, like all of us, faced her fair share of challenges at work. There was one particular project that seemed like extremely huge. Like, you know, those projects that we get, and when you get them, you looking at it like, okay, this is not happening. Like, well, working with Antonio, we see a lot of this is an impossible project type situation. So it was one of those kind of things. Well, the deadlines were tight and the expectations were high, and it felt like climbing a mountain with no end in sight. But Ada, however, decided to approach the project differently. So instead of being overwhelmed by the enormity of the task, she broke it down into smaller, more manageable parts. Each completed task became a small win, a cause for celebration. So Ada found joy in the progress or in the process, no matter how incremental it was. And you know what happened? Not only did Ada successfully complete the project, but she did so with a smile on her face. How many of us have completed a project and the only smile on our face was a smile of relief that it was over and not the smile of the joy of the completion and the celebration of the project? So she completed it with a smile on her face. And the joy she found in those small wins fueled her motivation and her resilience. It transformed the entire experience for her, and it had a ripple effect on the entire team. So why is finding joy in small wins so crucial? Well, firstly, it shifts your focus from the end goal to the journey itself. They always tell us life is about the journey, not the end. There's also the saying of you have the first date and the last date on the tombstone, but it's the dash. Like, what did you do in the dash? Things like that. Well, when you find joy in the small wins, it shifts your focus on the dash or the journey itself, and it allows us to appreciate the process, to learn from it, to grow along the way. Life is a series of moments, and finding joy in small wins ensures that we don't miss out on the beauty of each step. Secondly, celebrating small wins creates a positive and motivating environment. When we acknowledge and appreciate the little victories, it builds a culture of encouragement and support. And this positive atmosphere fosters creativity, collaboration, and a sense of fulfillment. When you get a small win and your team member comes up to you, it's like, man, that was great. Congratulations. It changes the energy in the environment. Then you turn around and you congratulate somebody else, and then they congratulate somebody else, and it just starts this world, not whirlwind, but this like domino effect of gratitude and positivity and motivation amongst your team members. And then thirdly, finding joy in small wins is essential for our mental and emotional well-being. It helps combat stress, anxiety, and burnout, which I know each and every one of us in some shape, form, or fashion over our lifetime has experienced stress, anxiety, and burnout. But by recognizing and celebrating our achievements, no matter how small, if you got a new stapler, that is a victory. That is a win. Trust me. I'm an office supply girl, so a new stapler is a win for me, okay? So no matter how small, we boost our confidence and our resilience. So how can we incorporate this mindset into our daily work? Well, the first thing you want to do is set realistic goals. Break down your projects into smaller, achievable goals. Celebrate each step and let the momentum carry you forward. Number 2, express gratitude. Take a moment each day to reflect on what you've accomplished and express gratitude for the small wins, like a new stapler or a set of 200 coloring pencils. Hint, hint. This this simple practice can have a profound impact on your mindset. And finally, encourage a culture of celebration. Celebrate not only your wins, but also the successes of your colleagues, birthdays, anniversaries, finished a big project, sent off 1,000 emails or sent off 100 emails. Shoot, that's a celebration in itself. Create a culture where everyone feels supported and recognized. So finding joy in small wins is not just about achieving success. It's about embracing the journey and appreciating the process. So let's follow Ada's example and celebrate the small victories that make our work meaningful and enjoyable. And together, let's create an environment where every achievement, no matter how small, is a cause for joy and celebration. May your imagination always be a celebration of you.
Right, I'm liking this stuff you be doing. You be prepping. Y'all don't mute your mics. Yes, all right. All righty. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Yes, they are cheering and clapping for you. Obviously, great job. You are a professional. I want to, Enid, I just sent you a message in Line app. I'll be sending you notes of what I talk about. Therefore, you can use ChatGPT later to make good show notes for when you upload this.
Okay.
Outstanding. One more time, if y'all could just unmute your mic so the audience that's listening to a podcast know that we are actually talking to real people.
Yeah,
Hey,
awesome.
Good stuff.
great,
Very good
Deanna.
stuff.
Happy, joy, happy, joy.
Yes, yes. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Thank you all so much for sure. I want to rush to the the innovation moment. You got the agenda out there, so everybody can see. So we'll do it so much we memorize it. So by saying thank you, all of you listened to what I said yesterday, and y'all took immediate action. Pastor Tony and I reached out. We are, in a sense, we're working on the apps together. Me code him on a scientific tech side, and he gave me plenty of great ideas. One of those ideas was to be a part of South by Southwest. If y'all don't know what that is, well, you should know what it is, but some of y'all are international. It's one of the biggest conferences in the world, and it's
fire.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And of course it's right here in Austin, so it's 4 hours up to, I don't even think Austin's 4 hours away. Austin may be 3.5 hours away. And Dallas is 5 hours away. But anywho, yeah, so it's right there, right up the street, is what they would say in the country. That's how we talk in the country. Hey? Right up the street is what we do. Some definitely, he made me think as well, because Melissa said something years ago, and Melissa and Deanna, about me being a speaker at the AI4 conference, which is another huge conference that's always in Las Vegas as well. So I immediately put Ina on getting us in both. Exactly. I immediately sent it to Ina, which goes to show all of you that you have a lot of power in this company, because the moment you say something, that if it's good, we try to move on it. Now we'll see, what happens, what the end's going to be, but that's irrelevant. What is relevant is you are being heard and we're taking immediate action. So that is relevant. I know Sonia reached out to Grace immediately, probably while I was talking, and Grace called me. It was like, oh my God, I don't know. I was like, yeah, well, Grace, I mean, she doing her job, stuff like that, etc. All of you, there's more. Pretty much, I know Anne-Marie, y'all just cross-pollinating and reaching out. That's what I'm talking about. That's how you make your department felt. Whether it be giving an ideal or just sharing a compliment. I know Deanna's been posting. That's the energy of what I was talking about. So for today's innovative moment, I don't want to give you innovation. I want to thank you for your innovation. So without further ado, if you can all unmute your mics and just give all of yourselves props, love, and just engagement. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey,
Absolutely.
Antonio.
Yes, sir.
Well, I have all my mics off. We need to, and in your own way, we don't have to do anything now. Celebrate the lady who we had a celebration of her yesterday, Rosalind Carter. 50 years ago, she started her campaign to make mental illness have less of a stigma than it did have. Now, she moved the needle. She didn't move the needle, but the needle still needs to be moved. Mm-hmm. And how I explain it, I say to people, if you had a broken leg and then you went to a doctor, would anybody think less of you going to the doctor because you have a broken leg? No. Same thing with your brain. If you have a broken brain, nobody should think any less of you to go to the doctor to get it fixed. Yeah. So 50 years ago, she started her campaign to have less of a stigma on mental health. And we just, her service yesterday was amazing. Yeah, I didn't know much about it, but I'm glad I took the time to listen.
I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did as well. Mental, man, I have so much to say here, but I don't want to say anything. I don't want to step on what you just said. I want to go backwards on what he just said. If you have a broken leg, there's no less of you. So therefore, according to Phil, human consultants and the Philisms, if you have a broken brain, it shouldn't be no less of you either. So I've such a topic I want to say so much, but I don't want to overshadow that. That is a real thing. Never heard of it that way before. Never thought of it that way before, but that is facts. That's facts. And a lot of us, trauma will give you a broken brain. Don't get it twisted. And when you can't have a conversation with someone and talk that out because you don't have a safe place, that trauma becomes disorders, especially when you're young. And when you carry them into adulthoods, you have broken brains, completely born healthy, but trauma has cripplized you. I'm not even sure if that's a word, but you get the point.
It's a word.
Stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, we all know what I mean. It's crippled you. Yeah, for sure. for sure. We all know what I mean. So thank you. Continue to do a good job. Continue to make your presence felt, your impact felt. There are more of you. I just want to highlight a few stories. Way too many to highlight. I do want to tell Lindsay and Ina for always being on pretty much every call. It's a big deal because they're international, and it's just the sun is not up for them. I don't know another way to tell you that they're in there with you old folk in Texas. They're in their knickers. That's what I got all this old folk language in my head. That's
burning that midnight oil.
Yeah, burn that midnight oil. That's the knickers. That's your pajamas. Your night clothes. Stuff like that. But yes, for sure, that is something that we want to acknowledge for you too. So thank you both for sure. I also want to highlight Tanya, who is working very well on our health benefits. Very, very, very well. She is going to be, I want to use this so I learned from the church, if you want things to change, then you say it in the pulpit. And then things change. Okay. You want things to change, you say it in the pulpit. Okay. So some of y'all old school enough. You've been in church long enough to know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna say this from the pulpit. She is, even though nothing needs to change, I want to establish a change. She is going to call a meeting with all you heads of departments, which is pretty much everybody here. Bow to her upon these meetings because your health package will depend on it. Let me just make it easy for her to meet with you so you can she's shaping our health benefits, our insurance benefits through your feedback. So if you want good benefits, give feedback. If you want Rudy Poo benefits, then make it hard. Make it difficult. But we want good ones, right? Everybody, we want matching 401ks and all sorts of stuff. We want all this stuff. So good. I also want to say that the apps, Burn Chat, the credit repair, there's more than that, but Phoenix Eon and stuff, that you get these things for free. I'll let you know when the app will cost you, but for the most part, you get these things for free. So if you have desires to have better financial management skills, debt management skills, lower your credit cards, increase your ability to raise capital, increase your credit score, then, in a few months, you'll have an app that's just for you. Okay. Well, it's for our customers, but you get the benefit because, you work here. Go ahead, Phil.
May I challenge you? It's not free. You're being compensated for part of the value that you've provided our organization.
It's not a challenge at all. I receive it and I like it. So for sure, absolutely, you're being compensated for the value that you all have given to this organization. So, and I love it. So let's make sure whenever Tanya meets out with you, she probably already has, but from the pulpit, I am telling you, make that easy so we can serve you better. Okay, make that easy. Make that easy so we can serve you better. That's right. Let's just establish that culture that your business is not successful. Like if you're a CEO, your business is not successful until there are meetings in your company that you're not invited to. That's when your business becomes successful. When there are meetings that the CEO is not invited to. Right? We're not talking about drama. We're talking about meetings. Like, hey, we got to get this together. We have to do this, or I have an idea about this. When your company starts having multiple meetings without asking you or without you being invited, your company is moving. It is moving. And that's the goal. The goal is for you to build a legacy to where people buy into it so much that parts start moving on your behalf because they love you and the vision. Some of y'all need to hear that because you want your name on the building, which is why you do all the work. And as long as you do all the work, you're never getting past 6 figures. I'm going to tell you that right now. It's never happening. It's not going to happen at all. There's a big difference. There's a huge difference There's a huge difference. Sure, your doctor or your nurse practitioner has their own practice. Sure, they ain't gonna never have multi-million-dollar profits because they're the work. As long as you're the work, it's not a business system. And as long as you're the work, according to cash flow quadrant, you're self-employed. And self-employed can never make more money than investing in business owners. So wrong quadrant. You want to get on the right side of the quadrant, not the left side. Not E and S, employee, self-employed. You want to be in business owner, investor. It's a book I read at least 3 times a year just to keep myself on track. So it's good. What's the next section, Deanna? Or whatever section I'm in. Oh, wellness workshop. A quick dive into health, wellness, mindfulness, activity. I'm not going to do this. Adonia, you got to unmute your mic. Like, we still ain't set nothing here. We ain't set nothing here because we still ain't got nothing set for here. So Adonia's going to give us a word from HR or her spirit because she is our resident wise person. Okay. Adonia is the one that knows what she's talking about. I don't know what she's going to say. I'll just give her an area to say it in. She's already doing her thing. Plus, she is experiencing executives and managers and leaders who are not doing their things properly. So from that place and from our place, if we want to be anything successful, Adonia, what do you think? What do you know? Because you ain't gonna give us no thoughts. What do you know that we should be hearing from your perspective? I'll give it to you, even though I put you on the spot. My bad.
Yeah, you do that all the time, but it's okay. I mean, there's not a lot to contribute only because when you are faced with that, here's what you can't do. You cannot make somebody do something. You cannot. You can encourage, inspire, pick a word, but you cannot. Sometimes you have to do it, have them see you do it, and then maybe they catch on. But where I know I have failed for many years is I would be impacted. Like I failed because I have a management team that are very smart. They're so intellectual, they're stupid. And I don't say that derogatorily
No,
per
that's
se.
that is facts. That's facts.
And that's from their skill
Yeah.
sets. They're I mean they crunch numbers like nobody's business. Why? Because they want to make money, profit. They look at their profit. So when they're bidding on these jobs, we're construction, we build and maintain cell towers. So we got all the big companies, the Verizons of the world, all the big people that we work for and with, and on their compounds, and there's some of their secret places, other people that I can't name. But at the grand scheme of things, they're brilliant. So their brilliance gets away of what they call the petty stuff. The petty stuff in their eyes are the people. Are you serious? And let me tell you what I mean when I say petty. The infighting, the confusion. There's the arrogance about the group of people that I work with because they are smart. Doesn't everybody know that? No, they don't know how to make the transition to every person you talk to. The conversation is different because how they receive and understand is different. They don't do that well. So what's happened, and I've allowed it and have a nerve to be frustrated about it, when they have those issues, they've sent people to me. You go fix it. I have relationships with most of the employees. I really do. They're respectful. How you doing? We have great conversations because I give it to them. They feel it and they give it back. So I've established that because of the personality and the person I'm in, not because my job says I'm supposed to. I'm human. I'm a human being. So the challenge is I have to work with them from where they are. I expect little from them when it comes to this is the end of the year. The biggest time for me is end of the year. Why? You got performance reviews. We're in the middle of benefit. Open enrollment is coming up. So we got to get those packages put together. We're in the end of the year for payroll, bonuses. The company, as small as it is ridiculously generous when it comes to bonuses. Everybody expects it. And I'm trying to get the owner to understand, first of all, you set the bar so high, it's hard for him to drop. When I say bonuses, some of the bonuses these managers get are people's salaries. We're not talking about 100,000, I mean, a dollar here. We're talking about 6 figures in some cases. Bonuses. And we're a small company. We're less than 100 people. I think we had 60 something now. We dropped because people getting out of California because it's expensive. Bottom line is this. The biggest challenge we will ever have with people is there's not a one size fit all.
Yep.
And because of that, it makes it challenging for you to know the various languages, and I use that lightly, languages meaning types of ways to talk to somebody. Every communication that you have doesn't work for every person. So I actually have to, I know my people, I have to adjust according to who I'm talking to. I don't say the same thing. It might be the same issue, but I can't deliver it the same way to each manager because each one of them, I'm telling you, are so different and they receive information so different. I have to be a chameleon and be a different person for each one of them. It's not easy. It really isn't. It's literally that by itself is a job.
You so much to say there, and I'm actually y'all clap for that real quick. So much to say there, and I'm actually going to address a few of those things in there for sure. My goodness. Okay, let's start at the end because that's the last thing y'all would have heard. I had to be a chameleon. That's called emotional intelligence. Is what she's talking about. She knows it. But she's saying I got to do emotional intelligence times 16 million just to get people to hear me. She didn't say to change, like just for them to hear what I am communicating. You are an organization typically is alive and profitable because of 2 or 3 people. I know I'm not supposed to say this out loud. I'm supposed to say everybody's important. I'm supposed to say that. That's not true. Everybody's valuable. Everybody's special. But you don't put key man life insurance policies on everybody. So you can say what you want, but everybody don't get the key man life insurance policy. So when you have the temperances, there would be no ATS without temperances. It's impossible. Doesn't make no sense. Impossible. That's somebody that's important. When you have an Adonia, when y'all already see, if you remove Phil and Susan from this organization, it'll probably die. It's impossible to hear an Adonia and then take advantage of them when you have emotional intelligence. Because if you lose, I've seen it many a time. I've seen this many a time in the church world. Lose that one member holding it all together. I've seen it many a times. That church go down and close its doors. I've seen many churches close its doors. I've seen many of them. Many of them. You don't lose the Adonia. Why? It's not Adonia. Listen to what she said. I got relationships with everybody, not because I'm trying to, because I care, because the person that I am. These are the people that if me and Phil don't like each other, but Adonia walk in the room, we behave because we don't want to offend Adonia. These are the people that's important to the organization. like these are the people. They walk in and everybody get on their P's and Q's because we don't want to disrespect her presence. She don't even say a word. You need people in those organizations. So please, for one, be those people if you can. It takes a lot of work to get to where Adonia is. It takes a lot of work. Adonia, on this day, and y'all unmute your mic and help me, we honor you. Not in this organization, forget this one. We honor you in that organization and every organization you will ever be in because you are absolutely honorable. And if nobody's going to tell you today, we honor you. Would y'all help me honor her, please?
Chill.
My sister.
All right.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's an honor to be around you. It's an honor.
Absolutely. I heard everything she said. That was good. That was good. Jeez. All right. She was on
Thank you.
it.
Love you all.
Yes. No, you deserve it. You deserve it. You know what I got? You know where I got that from? Joel Osteen. Again. Literally half of what I do well comes from Joel Osteen. I'm so not kidding about that. I'm so not kidding. It was 2011, and it was 23 of us, and he just stood us all up and told us why he honors us. And it was 2 hours of, I don't think it was 2 hours, like an hour and a half of just, I honor you for this reason. And you have no idea how easy it is to go a full year without being honored. It's easy today. It's easy. It's easy. I mean, yeah, you can think about it. When is some of y'all have not received a genuine thank you all year long? That's crazy, but that's the world we live in, right? That's where we live in. Yes, sir.
Can I piggyback on what you just said?
And Jalen said, especially as men. Don't you get started, Jalen. Oh, Lord, you sure right. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jerome.
I spoke to my niece on Monday, and I was telling her about how I was able to send these 3 books to Melissa. But I was saying to her, I said, I got to share something with you. And I said to her, I says, last week, on Tuesday, this company for my disability was supposed to send me some paperwork, and they didn't. I says, but ATS had movies for 4 days. And I said to her, during those 4 days, I didn't do any work. I said, I watched the movies. I thought about work, but I didn't do any work. I enjoyed myself. Then when Friday came, we were going to have some more movies for Saturday or Sunday. And I said, hey, I got work to do. And I said, on Monday, I sent those books forward. So I enjoyed myself for those 4 days. But then when Friday came, it was time to go to work. But I said something to her, and I said, I need to share this with you. I say, because I say, you remind me of myself. And I say, here's the reason why your family pulls on you so much. It's because you don't need other people's approval or opinions to prove to who you are. You do what you do because of who you are, not because you need other people's validation. And I said, and I'm the same way. I said, but here's the deal. Because I'm not lazy, because I'm not a bum, because I don't need that, I'm always going. Antonio, you're the same way. And I said to her, those 4 days, I didn't do any work, and I enjoyed it.
That's right.
But when it was time to go back to work, I went back to work, and I said, and because I don't need other people's approval and other people's opinion, I need to validate myself. So I took the time off and enjoyed those movies. And then when it was time to go back to work, I need that. And I said, and guess what I need to do? I need to do that more often.
That's right.
And I don't do it enough.
That's right.
That's what I wanted to say, sir.
That's right. No, it's important that you said that, because old folk in Texas, I don't know about in the States, we call it slowing down to speed up. Yeah, slow down to speed up. This is when you recharge, you sharpen that axe. There's absolutely nothing wrong. I didn't do anything during those 4 days. I didn't do any coding. I didn't do anything. I actually enjoyed the movies with y'all. Yeah, I didn't do anything. The only thing I did during that period was work on the plot for Kofi Side 2 and the plot for the Cities of Celeria 2. I didn't like either plot that I had, so I boosted them up. I've discovered as a writer, I like subplots inside of plots. It's kind of books I like to read. Etc. So that's the only thing I did during those days, was just something that was personal for me. So that wasn't even work. That was personal. That was personal fun. So good job, Jerome, for sure. Next Tuesday, I just put it in the chat. Next Tuesday, doing our 8:40 to 8:50, and that was wrong. I said we ain't had nothing here. We got plenty there. We got dad jokes, etc. But Janice is going to be here next Tuesday, because I just got a message from Deanna, and we moved pretty quickly. No, you can't do it Tuesday?
It has to be Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Tuesday, and then that's why I'm late when I come in on Tuesdays. I have a class.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
Wednesday.
So next Wednesday, for then that 8:40 to 8:50 time slot, we will have a guest expert. Yes, guest expert will be Janice Smith, and she would give us a Q&A or a workshop on renal kidney health, which is very important. If you don't understand, let me tell you how your body works. You go in your mouth, through your throat, and your kidneys get it first. Okay? from the stomach to the kidneys. This is what happens. Your kidneys is your oil filter, your air filter. It's the first thing that filters, stomach acid to nutrients, vitamin this and this and that. It's what turns.
They filter the waste out of it.
Get
and
out
the
of there.
fluid out of your bloodstream
Yes.
to produce the urine.
Absolutely.
You can't even urinate if that doesn't happen.
You need a kidney.
Right.
Yes, you need a kidney. Your liver gets a second, but that kidney, God bless. Okay, yeah, we
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah, you sure can.
I just want to say thank you for not only bringing that, Janice, but as someone who I have a lot of diabetes in my family, and I'm not trying to be the next one. I take this extremely seriously. So I just want to say thank y'all for what y'all doing.
And Pastor Tony just said that's huge. He lost his dad to kidney cancer. So there you go. I mean, no, yeah, lost his dad and had cancer in his kidney. Is that and then Janice is a cancer survivor. So since this is, are you available Friday as well, Janice? Next Friday?
I have to look at the calendar. I'm not really sure. Something is pending, but I'm not sure. I can't say for sure like I can.
That's okay. Well, we just gonna be ready to have you up 3 times whenever you're available.
Oh my
so,
God.
Yeah, for sure. Because I got a feeling that little 10 minutes ain't gonna be nothing but a little task like giving somebody one chip. What the hell you doing with this one chip? And you got my mouth all salty now. I need another chip. So, exactly.
Like Lay's, you can't eat just one.
Yeah. Give me a little. You don't give me one fry. I asked for some fries. I didn't ask for no one fry. What's wrong with you? You understand how it works. You understand how
Give me what I got.
Yeah.
What I know from my experience. So
yeah,
that's
absolutely.
what it is.
Absolutely. So next Tuesday, for sure. No, Wednesday, excuse me. Next Wednesday, during that time, that we will have Janice up. That means Ina and Deanna, y'all are responsible for me remembering, because I'm gonna forget. I'm not gonna forget her. I'm just gonna forget the admin side of it. So ain't no sense of y'all pretending like I am an admin professional. We know I'm not. So do not leave it up to me to remember. Which I want to switch paces real quick. I need y'all, where's Grace normally does this. Down, you got to do Grace's job. I need my Cash App out there, and I need my PayPal. Well, it's not mine. They both company Cash Apps, and it's a company PayPal. We got somebody here in trouble. I will give you no details of who it is. I would just tell you they in trouble. Okay. And it's one of us. Everybody okay? It's one of us. Now, in order for me to help raise money for somebody, well, I don't really have a grading scale. It's more of the way you are the way the cross is pounding you in the face is more of the grading scale than anything. Okay. We got to save somebody's house. It's as simple as that. The good thing is they're only $470 short. That's the good thing. That's the good thing. Save somebody's house, they're only $470 short. So there's the Cash App. They gotta do me a favor, because Cash App goes into Navy Federal. What I need you to do is log in and then immediately transfer to savings, so Netflix or I don't know, whatever other company bill. Don't take it. We don't want we don't want somebody's house money going to storage fees or something or whatever. Who knows? Okay, so I'm going to keep talking, but that's there. Now here's the deal. Let me explain a few things.
Antonio, are you going to do PayPal too?
Yep, it's PayPal's out there as well. It's right there.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Yep, PayPal as well. But I'm going to explain a few things. I don't want to do this. I'm going to explain a few things as Antonio. However you receive this is up to you. I'm going to explain it as Antonio. I was going to take a different approach, but I got to be genuine, Jerome. If one of us is in trouble, all of us is in trouble. Okay? If one of us is in trouble, all of us is in trouble. Now, I want you to know that your $2 is real heavy. It's real heavy. And I just got a message. We got one donation. Of course, it was Jerome. He's always first. Yeah, right. But he's just throw it, jump out there real quick, right? Of course, it was Jerome. But for sure, your $2 is real heavy. Believe this. Because at the very least, even if we fall short, not to that person, you're gonna get this word of God today. Okay, not to that person. Not to that person. Because at the very least, they can say, look, here's my payment. Give me 24 hours. At the very least, they can do that. But it's important that all of us recognize you will be in trouble. So let me help y'all out. When you got another person just donated, when you here's how life works. You can ask Stuart Wild, one of my favorites, Phil's favorites. You can ask David Jeremiah, one of Susan's favorites. They're gonna all say the same thing. Whenever you need $20, God ain't giving you $20. That's not how it works. God is giving you somebody in your path who needs $20. Rewind, press play. Whenever you need $20, you don't get a $20 gift. You get tested with the opportunity to give. Jerome's Bible says God don't do temptation, God gives test. That's Jerome's Bible. It's got nothing to do with me, but it's in there. I promise you it is. God does not tempt. So whenever you need something, the only way to receive it from the universe is to give. I just got three people, 3 donations total via Cash App. I have no idea. Yes, that's why. Yeah, you got to do PayPal. Cash App's not international. So I want you all to receive that. Not only if one of us is in trouble, all of us are in trouble. But if you're saying to yourself, man, I need something too. Exactly. This is how it comes. This is how it comes. And trust me, the most blessed people that y'all know are givers. I can assure you, they are super givers. You hear me? They're super givers. Okay, we got some donations. So good job there. Keep that going. I'll keep bringing it up. And then what we'll do is we'll keep doing what we do. Cool. I want to explain to y'all. Well, actually, got a little tug in my spirit real quick. Good old tug. Dion, you supposed to say something right here. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Really? I've got a lot to say, but I don't know here what to say.
Got nothing to do with me. That's you and the Holy Spirit. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
Stop playing, Dion. Stop playing.
I'm gonna cut my camera off just so she got forced to talk.
Thank you. I don't know. I guess in my spirit this morning, if you guys saw, and as in Anay says, I was up all night, and I do that on a full moon. I really, if you don't believe in it, that's okay. But as Antonio was saying, I love to fix things, and when I have a pull in my spirit, that's what I do. So you saw the movie that I put out there for everyone. I think, as we're going on as a company, we're used to people paying us, just to be there. And I think that we all have the wrong idea. We get paid for what we put out. And Antonio is working his hardest, and just so we can get paid. So if we could take, Corinthians, I like that. Yeah, there we go. So if we take this time and reevaluate ourselves to do better, is all I can say. Because I'm as at fault at this as you. I don't sell. I don't, but I take the things that I do know and I do the best I can. And that's all anybody can ask, right? So I want to thank you, Antonio, for taking the time to make this company better, the best it can be, and allowing us to be us and do us, and that you see how much it's not happening, and you're out there making a product that will get us paid, because we're not at that full aspect as when we came in. We all came in, yay, we're going to do this, and then as time goes on, we're not seeing it, and you'll see people leaving and things like that. But what have we put into this? What have we done to make this the best it can be? All right, I'm done.
I thought you
Thank
had
you.
nothing to say. Thought you had nothing to say.
I didn't.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I'm just now getting used to taking what I am, or who I am, or what I do, and it's only because of you. I'll just say that. Thank you.
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Two things I want to point out, because one just came up real quick. Well, three things, because Deanna just told me we got $263 raised so far after transfer fees. There's nothing we can do about that. Transfer fees is transfer fees. Sorry about that, but that's the system. That's Capital One and JP Morgan. Like, that's all that. That's nothing to do with us. Okay, that's nothing to do with us. That's how payment merchants work. But we're at $263. I want to say the total was $470, if I remember, is what we're trying to get to. Thank y'all so much. That is fantastic. I promise you that. And oh yeah, this is one of us. This is one of us for sure. It's one of us. Y'all know who it is, so I'm not gonna tell you who it is, because you know who it is. It's one of us for sure. That's number one. Number two, if somebody compliments you, receive it. Let me help you out. Okay. It's okay to say to God be the glory and all that stuff. I'm not telling you don't do that. I'm not telling you don't do that. But two things here. Number one, Dion ain't had to compliment me. She's a grown woman. You understand? Adonia ain't got to lower herself and compliment somebody. Number two, you also don't want to tell the universe, I'm not open to receive compliments. Because what's going to happen is you're going to stop having a life worthy of compliments until you be open enough to receive. So don't stop walking over pennies. Stop it. Pick them up. Next time somebody say, let me give you this. Oh, no, I can't accept that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because you're consistently, what does Abraham Hicks say? Throwing off rockets of desire. And you don't want to say, I don't desire to receive. No, always stay open. The church teaches you how to ask, and the church teaches you how to believe. The church does not do a good job teaching you how to receive. It's a very hard thing to do there. Very, very hard thing to do. Cool. So I'm sure
things I had to learn how to do in being in this community has helped me to get there. It's difficult.
We have to $311. I'm sorry, my bad.
How to receive.
No doubt.
My bad.
No. You did right talking. We was up to $311, and I have no idea why I wanted to say it at that moment. But yes, you keep talking.
That's that live streamer in you.
I know.
You gotta check the chat. You gotta. I get it. I get it.
I know. All right, Twitch follows up to $311. Like, I just tell that's literally the live streamer. He's absolutely right about that. We have the $311. Thank y'all so much.
ATS in the chat.
No doubt. ATS in the chat. With ATS in the chat. Thank you so much. This will definitely get to where it's going. And let me pause real quick. I need to send a message to the person. I have no idea how to send this money to you. Let me know. Okay. Do not, person, give away who the hell I just sent this message to. Okay, do not, do not be that person. Do not. Just do not, unless the Lord is telling you get on here and cry. You can just chill. All right, you can just chill. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything. If one of us is in trouble, all of us is in trouble. One of the great examples of that is so there's a okay, here we go. I was trying to debate if I wanted to do it, Jerome. Gonna give me 5 minutes and then I want to switch to
Antonio, I've been in that square before.
Bro,
more than once.
More
and
than
guess
once.
what? God came through. That's one of the reasons why I give. Because a year ago, I couldn't give.
Come on, man.
A year before, I couldn't give. And now that I can, you bet not ask me to give. Hello? Because guess what? The time may come when I'm back in one of those squares again. So, hello.
No, that's right. You ain't got to. I'm gonna tell you, I foreclosed on 5 houses at once. At once. I don't just have a foreclosure. I got 5 of them now. Luckily for me, it was in my company name, but that's irrelevant. You know, I'm 5 of them because I overcompensated myself, overextended myself. When I lost one, it forced me to move in another, and I had to pay these bills. When one renter came out, I couldn't afford any, and all of them just cascaded. I learned how to be a good investor before I learned how to be a good business owner, and that was deadly. That was a deadly combination, and I teach y'all not to. Damn, that's something crawling on me. I'm bad. I teach y'all not to do that because it's deadly. Y'all feel me? You don't want to do that, right? So I want to tell you a story. This story is rooted in a sacred text. There's these guys, and they are believing. But first off, if one of us is in trouble, all of us is in trouble. That's what I'm pushing home here. Up to $340 total. Yeah, thank you, Daddy. Yeah, keep that public. That'll work. That works. There's this guy named Jesus, and he convinces these 12 guys to follow me. But they don't just follow him. They have to give up everything to follow him. And so for at least 3 Passovers, they follow him. And how many of you know that when you get inside the will of God, you automatically get outside the will of people? And so the end of the story is other people crucified their dreams. It wasn't just their rabbi on the cross. No, that was everything they dreamed for. You please review this story as that wasn't just some salvational moment that Pastor Tony gets to talk about every Sunday. No. Put yourself in the disciples' shoes. I wasted 3 years of my life. Please know that that's what they were thinking. I'm not adding to the text. The very next text says, and the Jews being locked in a room for fear of other Jews. This has nothing to do with me adding to the text. That's what it says. Jerome, it's in John 21, John 20. That's what it says. Okay. They're afraid on the same day of the resurrection. So it's been 3 days. And they're immediately afraid. But there's only 10 of them in the room. One of them hung himself. Is what it is. The other act like Antonio. Can I get you, Thomas? me. Thomas is so full of faith. One of the most faithful Just a few years, just a year and a half ago, Thomas was like, let's go there right now. I'll die right now. Let's go there right now. You can look it up. That actually happened. And how many of you can relate that it sure hurt worse, Susan, when you follow and do everything you were supposed to do for years, and then it don't work out? That's demoralizing. When you go, man, this time I really believe. Who know what I'm talking about? I did it. No, this time, this one hurt this time. That's Thomas. This is not a lack of faith. That whole doubting Thomas thing is a misnomer. That's not, this man ain't got no lack of faith. Faith hurt him. Y'all can act like y'all now humans or not. Sometimes faith hurt. Faith hurt this man. And his Jesus shows up. The first thing Jesus does is he speaks peace over his followers. Peace be unto you. And the second thing he does is he reinvokes Genesis chapter 2. Then he breathes on them. The Holy Spirit, giver of life, gives them new life. You missed it. Says, I gave you life when I was living. Now in this new living, I give you a different everlasting life. I breathe upon you, said Holy Spirit. But Anne-Marie, Antonio's knucklehead. I'm not there. This is where I got to kind of use a little imagination right here, Susan. That was the first day. It's not in the text. I'm just assuming that after they had their shouting moments, Thomas, bro, you got to get in here. And for 7 days, Thomas was like, man, get out of here. Hell, y'all talking about? We came back from the dead. Get out of here. Look, man, look. Ain't nobody come back from the dead, Susan. Stop. Stop. Now, all that's imagination, okay? None of that's in the text. However, here's what happens, Jerome. It does say on the 8th day, Thomas does come back. Now, we don't know why. Text don't say. But I can tell you what the writer John was doing, Pastor Tony, because the writer John remembers on the 8th day, all male boys had to be circumcised in the temple. So technically, Pastor Tony's savior, first blood dropped for the kingdom was on the 8th day in the temple. Technically. That's also in the text. It's like in Luke chapter 2, by the way. It's a whole dude blind, ready to die until you meet the Messiah. That's in there. I'm just telling you. It's in there. But here's the crazy thing, Dion, and I'm talking directly to you. Oh, we reached our goal, $483. We reached our goal, y'all. Yay! We reached our goal. Oh, somebody donated soup. You know what? Somebody acting like Antonio. Yeah, okay, there you go. Here's the deal. Watch this here. On the 8th day, this Jesus comes back and says, Susan, put your hand in my hand. You feel it? Put your hand over here. Now put it in my side. Put it in my side. And then 2 of the greatest things happen. First up, pay attention to Susan's response. My Lord, my God. I kid you not, that was Susan's response. That's exactly what was said. And the second response was, blessed are those, Susan, who believe and had not seen. And the point in all of that, you can have faith all you want to, but Pastor Tony, here's the point I'm trying to make. Aren't you glad? But this ain't for everybody. Some of y'all got to catch this by faith. This ain't for everybody. This next part is going to divide people. Aren't you glad that if you was the last man on earth, Jerome, your God will come back for you? Because that's what happened to Thomas. Not because Thomas was full of faith, not because Thomas believed, but because Thomas was in disbelief. in the flesh. And Jesus said, I'm busy. I got 40 days to convince the world everything is happening. But Thomas, let me stop being busy just for you. If one of us is in trouble, all of us is in trouble, according to Jesus Christ. Go ahead, Phil.
I think it's interesting. I have the Jerusalem Bible. So instead of blessed are these who have seen or not believed, guess what the Jerusalem Bible says?
What does it say?
Happy are those who have not seen and yet believe. They substitute the word blessing to happy, which is a humor consultant. I like that.
And in the original Greek, that word actually means happy. That word actually means happy. It's more accurately translated into happy. That is true. If one of us is in trouble, all of us in trouble. And trust me, and I got you. If one of us, Jerome, you finna say something. If one of us is in trouble, no, but you finna say something. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You finna say something. If one of us is in trouble, all of us is in trouble. And hear me very well. Thomas was vindicated, made happy, because he was hurt. Stop letting people like me tell you that the only time God is going to show up for you is when you believe. Because the person y'all just helped, maybe they don't believe, maybe they do believe, but I know they were robbed. That I know. I know they were counted out. And I know right now, more than likely, they're crying because God showed up, not when they were up here very high, but when it didn't make any sense. People he or she barely know showed up. And they will remember this into next lifetimes and next lifetimes. Okay? Jerome, go ahead, put the bow on this, man.
Now, see, you don't put me on the spot. And then you put me on the spot, I'm gonna say something. And Deanna gonna appreciate this. And it goes back to a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when she was telling Talisha about bring some donuts. Okay? An incident happened to me here where I'm staying at that was devastating. It was off the hook. I handled it pretty well, pretty calm. But after the incident, after the person walked away, I got angry, I got upset, I got mad. And I wanted to deal with them. So I went to 3 people and asked them to pray for me. Didn't give them a lot of details, said pray for me. Because I know that I want Jerome to go and correct this. And Jerome's going to mess it up. But if God goes before me, it may turn out okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't give him a lot of detail. I say pray for me. Well, the time came for that intervention or that situation, and instead of it getting better, it got worse. Yeah. It got ugly.
Yeah.
Okay. Boom. Person stormed out. Blah, 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 blah. Crazy. I'm sitting there going, I thought I did everything right to make it better, but now it's worse. And then it was either Thursday or I think it was either Wednesday or Thursday. Deanna was telling Talisha about that situation with the mechanic, and she says, next time, bring some donuts. And I'm like, huh? And God said to me, Jerome, the next time, bring some donuts.
Look at that.
So the next time, I took an envelope, wrapped it up like it was a letter, wrote up a few lines in it, and put some money in it. When the person came, I said, oh no, I gave it to my sister-in-law to give to him. She thought it was a letter, and she came to me and said, I'm gonna talk to him. And I said, no, this is what God told me to do. The same God you serve told me to do this. Please do this for me. Can you do that? She said, yes. Gave it to him. He called. you tell Jerome, blah, 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 blah. She didn't know I was there. When I came out of the bathroom, she said, oh, he's right here on the phone. He's right here. Boom, talk to him. He said, oh, thank you, bum, bum, bum. But that's not enough. I still need some more. I said, in the letter I sent you, I thanked you for what you did. You told me you got to pick the toilet up off the floor and you were going to need more. And I said, if you need any more, let me know. That's not a problem. God said, now go get some more donuts. Went to the bank. The first envelope had $250 in it. Went to the bank, got $500 out. Wrapped it up, gave it to him when he came the next time. And then the last one was $100. He didn't want to take it. But by the time he got the last box of donuts, he was like, no, nothing. I want you to have this. He was apologizing. I never said a word to him to correct that situation. Deanna, I brought the donuts. Do you hear me? Messed me up. Because everything I tried to do, say, bring the donuts.
Yeah.
Messed me up.
Yeah.
And now it's right. And I was saying to one of my spiritual friends, I says, I hope that when I talk to him, that I represent God and don't represent Jerome, because I don't think he's born again. So it's about the gospel. And when that thing blew up, I was like, Lord, I was trying to bring the donuts. And when I brought the donuts, I just watched the Spirit of God move, blew me away. So I'm sitting there going, God, what just happened? You humbled yourself. You did what I told you to do.
Yep.
Now here's the results. So that's what came to me as you were sharing that story about Thomas, is that sometimes it just seems so impossible to say, no, but if we will allow him, he will show up. Just like in Revelation, I tell folks, God is a gentleman. He says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If you open the door and let me in, I will come and sup and be with you. He doesn't kick the door down. He knocks to let you know he's there. It's up to you to open the door and let him in. And if you do that, so that's what came to me, sir. I don't know if that helps somebody or not.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yana, next time I'm gonna bring some donuts.
Yeah. It is. So I got something to say. I plan to say, okay, Diana, I'm sending you the payment method as we speak. Give me a second. Upon sending this, what you're going to do is log in the Navy Federal. You're going to transfer the checking, and then you're going to send it. No, I guess I need to do it for less fees. I need to do it, right? Or do you? No, let me talk. And once you send it to you got something to come out of your account?
No,
outstanding. Send it to you. Send it to you so I can keep concentrating.
Gotcha.
I'll send it to you in line out. Upon when you get that, the copy and paste it, because I'm going to delete it because I share my screen too much and I don't want nobody to accidentally see it. So you copy and paste it somewhere. Let me hold on, y'all. Just let my awkwardness, because I share my screen way too much and I don't want nobody to see it. This person is more than welcome to say something at another time. I am deeming it, you will not say nothing today. I'm deeming that at another time. Outstanding. And now I'm deleting. And then I'm deleting from her as well. Boom. Let me close that. Okay. I have plenty to say here.
Antonio,
for one, this is the best. Yes, sir.
Before you say something, being you just said what you just said, I'm going to say something. Being you told that person not to say something, I'm going to say something because it's been a minute. I said earlier, I've been in this box before. And when I was in this box, I was in a lot more trouble than the person who needed the $400-something. A lot more. I called Antonio on the phone. I said, Antonio, remember that money I sent you? Boom, 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 like that? He said, yep. I said, I need that. Here's my situation.
Yep.
And when he heard the situation, he said, Jerome, we're not going to do that. But we're not going to do that. Now here's what we gonna do. Bum, 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 bum. And whatever they leave off, I'm covering the rest. I said, he said, Jerome, remember you talked earlier about being able to receive? See, I had problem receiving. But then I realized, Jerome, didn't God tell you before, you ain't got no problem giving, but you got a problem receiving? And so he said, shut up. So I shut up and I said, thank you. Now, here's the caveat that maybe this is what God wanted me to say, Antonio. So I'm going to say it now. Here's the caveat. When Antonio gave that, like he's talking about telling Deanna to do what he got to do. When he gave that to them to take care of, there was a problem getting the money to me. And I'm talking 4 figures, folks. I ain't talking about no couple $100.
No,
okay.
no couple $100.
All right. It was they were having a problem. And I don't know how they were, but they were having a problem. Now, most of you have not met. See, now I can't think of a name.
Tempest.
Mm-hmm. When Tempest heard, Tempest wasn't involved in it at all.
Mm-mm.
She was not involved. But when Tempest heard that they were having problems getting this money to Jerome, she said, what? She says, I got this. Mm-hmm. She calls me on the phone, folks.
She did.
I'm at my nephew's house on my phone in my computer. And she walked me through the entire process with PayPal till the money showed up in my PayPal account. And I went, and of course, I was in tears, okay? But I had the wherewithal to say, I said, Tempest, can I ask you a personal question? She said, yeah. I say, did this money come from ATS or did this money come out of your account? Mm-hmm. She said, it came out of my account, but they're going to pay me back. And they did. But listen to me, folks. For her, because she heard it was Jerome, I got this. She took her money and put it on the line for me. I met that woman one time, 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. Haven't met her since then. She took care of me. Yeah. I've been in these squares before. As Antonio said, if one of us are in trouble, all of us in trouble. I will never forget that. Do you hear me? Let somebody badmouth Tempest.
I know that's right.
I'm done. And I've done the same thing for him. I called that Deanna one time and told her, y'all gonna fire me. I didn't know them two was married. But I bet you this, Deanna appreciated somebody is willing to go to the bat for my man. Because I told her, I got a retired ID card here that I can travel anywhere in the U.S. and the world for free. And I will come to Houston, Texas, Galveston, Texas, and them so-and-so-and-sos, and I use the cuss words. They don't want to mess with me. 3 weeks later, I ain't see him on the call no more. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was done. You ain't messing with my boy. That's my boy. I can mess with him, but you ain't gonna, I bet you won't. So, Antonio, I'm gonna kick your butt.
You should.
I'm gonna kick your butt. Put me on the spot.
Should. You know I like those tears. You understand? And the Oprah moment. Oprah. No, that's everything you said is true. This person would be, by the way, said person is waiting for you to receive your end of the payment, and then you will receive it. That's there you go. And every dime was sent, even the overage. We don't play with God's money. You hear me? Don't do that. If I steal, Janice, it's gonna be 20 billion. I'm going to the news for real. Okay. Going to the news for real. Go ahead, Phil.
As I've said many times, how do you explain to somebody that's thinking about joining this organization about this kind of a meeting?
Right. Many times you said it. I have no idea how to put this into words. You know, I have no idea what kind of show notes you're gonna do. I have no idea what you're gonna do. I have no idea. You'll figure it out. Use ChatGPT for assistance. And then the moment it is received on your end, just let me know. Let me know online and privately. That way, all of us can relieve a collective sigh that it is finished. Okay, that it is finished for sure. Thank you, everybody. Give. And I always say this to borrow from Phil, as I say many times before. Some of you could not give. You gave. It's your turn soon. Just not today. Never forget that. The person immediately is obviously in joy. And I'm going to read what they said. This, all caps, team is all caps, so amazing. I will gladly give back to everyone when a need arises. And my answer to that is no, Jerome has it right. No, Phil has it right. Thank you. Just when your time, you will give. But that is not how receiving works. The only reason we receive on this planet is 2 reasons. It's only 2 reasons. It's only 2 reasons. Reason number 1, according to Jerome, because God gave first. Ain't nobody gonna bother that. Pastor Tony ain't gonna bother that. You're right. Okay, all right. So if you believe in one God, I'm in your wheelhouse right now. Reason number 2 is because you deserve it. Because you gave first. Whether it be this lifetime, next lifetime, you activated that seed, is what it is. You receive because you have first given. Both of those ways are highly acceptable. Both of those ways are true. God gave or you gave. Either way, receiving is a side effect of giving. Person, you got what you deserved. You did not get charity. You got your worth. You got your honor. Y'all don't know who it is, but if y'all can unmute your mics and just pour into this person. They are on the call. You just pour into the person.
We love you.
Amen. Praise God. Praise God. Yeah.
Love you.
We're here for you.
Thank you,
We
Lord.
got you.
We're here for you.
We got you.
God is good, ain't he, Jerome? Now, I'd be remiss if I don't let the active pastor of Density 6 say something. So, Pastor Tony, you got to unmute your mic. And I'm not. I mean, you got to say something right here for sure.
Well, actually, I had a few things. So I do want to say this. So I'm going to share a personal thing on how this happened. How you can say universe got however you believe. About I don't know, it's probably been about 8 or 9 years. I had lost my job and I had a trip planned for church to go out west for a mission trip to support something. And I was flying from Michigan. Person I was traveling that I was meeting was flying from Pennsylvania, and his plane never took off. And this person knew the rental car was in his name. Everything was in this person's name because I wasn't working. I didn't have a job. I could afford the plane ticket, and that was about it. But he said, come with me. He calls me. I'm in Phoenix, and he calls me and says, my plane never took off. I'm not making it. The engine basically blew up on the runway. I'm not coming. So I had to go get a rental car. And if you've ever been out to Arizona in the early spring, there's golf tournaments, there's Major League Baseball spring training. There are no rental cars except for like the really big, expensive ones. So I got this big, expensive rental car. Didn't tell my wife until I got in the car and got on the road because as a good husband, I spent the money first. And, better to ask forgiveness than permission. So I called her in the car and I said, well, I just spent X amount, and it was several $100s. That was pretty much all I had in my account. And wish it was my wisdom, it was her wisdom. She just said, well, it'll get taken care of. And I said, yep, you're right. Went through the weekend, supported this little mission that I went to. And gentleman comes up to me on the last night I was there. And if you've ever done the handshake where you got the money in your He did the handshake. And you talk about difficulty receiving. I didn't want to take it because I came out to support them. But he said, no, I was told to give this amount to you. So I slipped it in my pocket, went through the rest of the night, got up the next day to drive back to Phoenix. And you got to empty your pockets to go through security. So I emptied my pockets as I was getting ready to go through security. And there's this stack of money he gave me to the dollar, to the penny. It was the exact amount of the rental car. Universe, God, whatever you want to believe. I'm not going to tell you how to believe it. I've got my way. You've got your way. I'll just say this, that when you put others first, whether it's, I love the line where it says, what you do quietly, you will be rewarded openly. I did not tell anybody that I went into my bank account and spent that money. My wife knew. I knew. No one else knew. No one else knew. But openly rewarded. There's a, because being a pastor, I go to scripture. These guys come to Jesus and they say to him, what's the greatest commandments? And he says there's two. And the first one he says is love your God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. And the second is like the first, love your neighbor as yourself. So today, with what happened, we loved our neighbor as ourselves. And the last one I'll say is the disciples come to Christ, the 12 guys come to Christ and say, he says to them, when I was hungry, you gave me food. When I needed clothes, you gave me clothes. And they said, when in the world did we do this for you? And he said, when you helped those that were in need. And so while we helped someone on the call today, it is reflected through the universe. It is reflected through time. It creates echoes. However you believe, whatever God, whatever being, whatever thing that you answer to, because I'm not going to tell you what to answer to. I can only answer to what I believe to answer to. It's echoed through time. And the last thing I'll say is, if you're ever in need, and I put this in the chat, it is never shameful to ask for help. Because there'll be a time when you'll need help. And you can't suffer quietly. Too many people do that. Too many people just go, it's okay, I'll figure it out on my own. Again, 2 commandments. Love your God with all your heart and all your mind. And the second, like the first, love your neighbor as yourself. So if you're willing to help yourself out, be willing to help your neighbor out, whoever that is, whether it's through a video screen or whether it's literally the lady that lives next door to me who needs her driveway, de-iced, whatever it is. When we do it for one, we do it for all. So that's all I got to say.
Man, that brother Jay, you look like
I'm
you
off
got
camera.
some fire about you. Yeah, to get on camera.
But even there's just to go off of that, it's like for me, I'm the type of person I love giving because I love seeing that smile on somebody, but also just the thought of I did something thoughtful, right? Because a lot of people don't feel thought of, don't feel heard or seen. But I'm also the type of person where I like doing it and not for instance, like I'll donate and I like being anonymous, or I'll do something I don't like because sometimes I don't want to be praised for it, but then it comes back in a different way. I feel as if, and it really starts to make me think that. So, for instance, like I'm not lucky when it comes to gambling or anything like that, right? But in life, because I give and because I'm a good person, God has used me, and I'm extremely lucky for the things that I've done in life. And so it's just so crazy to me that kind of happens. But I really look back and I always think, don't be afraid to be things. Don't be afraid to actually show someone else that you are doing good, because I think Dion said it earlier, maybe that person needs to see how it's done. Maybe that person needs to see what love really can be from someone that's genuine, right? And a lot of times I know for me personally, with some of the groups that I either have been around or, you know, kind of are now, I'm one of the outstanding men, especially when it's around women. And so it's like, just because I have certain boundaries and I hold myself a certain way, they think of me highly, and I enjoy that, because there's a lot of times you get people who aren't genuine with their love, regardless of what it is. And especially when it comes to relationships between like a man and a woman, if it's platonic, you know, I've always noticed you never really know how that person's going to treat them until there's no feelings there, until it's just strictly platonic. Especially for to all the ladies out there, when a man, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
You're right, brother. You're absolutely right. I got about 3 or 4 more things to say, and then we're concluding the call, and they all are they're all connected, as all things are interconnected. I'm still waiting back to hear from the person if they receive. Well, I know it's there, but the message says they got to complete their end of the transaction. So, but for sure, it is in cyberspace somewhere until I get confirmation. I'm gonna double back to Phil. You're right, brother. I don't know how to describe what we do here. I just know that there's no way on the planet God gonna let this company fail. It's impossible. Just how could you? This is genuinely one of, if you say, what does it look like for God to build a company? It would be this one. This would be one of those examples. This would be one of those examples. Not the only example, but well, Jayla says one of a kind, so I'll take that. But this would be one of those examples. And I know from human experience, I've never seen anybody fail that maintained faith. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I've never seen, through human experience, just take it out of any religion, anybody who maintained faith has always won, and it's always been publicly and dramatically. Faith wins are loud because other people need to see what faith looks like. There's scripture for that if you want it, Jerome, that by this my Father will be glorified, that you bear much fruit and prove to be one of his disciples. The fruit is the side effect of God wanting, demanding glory. Because how can there be no glory without fruit? Remember, I can't say, oh, that's what Anne-Marie was talking about, until I see the fruit and go, oh, that's what Anne-Marie was talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm going to wrap up with a few things. I'm about to hit you in your feels for a little bit in a second. But I think I'm canceling the masterclass today at noon because I was going to do it, but there's a conference that I absolutely need to see. And there's no way I'm going to, if I have time, I will have time. I'll tell y'all why I'm taking this conference so seriously. Well, I just tell you right now, because I'm building products based off it. I'm just telling you right now, I'm building products based off it. Absolutely. We leaving this conference with new cloud division. I'm telling you right now. I'm just telling you right now. We're leaving this conference with a cloud division because it's something I want to do for sure. I want to say a few things. You can multitask, and I appreciate y'all cutting your cameras on. It means you're Sean. It's good to see you, brother. Like I no doubt, I definitely desire for you to pay attention to at least this section. I talked to Amir last night. We were supposed to connect a couple of days ago, but things happened. And I talked to him last night. And the content of the conversation is irrelevant, but I told him, just do this one thing for the next 365 days and watch what happens. And he'll see. He'll see. So I'm going to tell you all the same energy. I have a responsibility to every last one of you. And it doesn't matter what people believe. It only matters what you believe. If I can just be worthy enough for your belief in an unbelieving world, we will win. Always. Because you cannot stop two people who agree and walk together. Harmony is the most powerful force on this planet. There is nothing greater than harmony. The word God in itself is plural. Stem ending, I am, Elohim. It's a plural. Your God is in harmony with God's self. In order for you to stay alive, your body and all this organ systems and organelle systems has to be in harmony with itself. We can't even enjoy life when our kidneys are no longer in harmony with its surroundings. The greatest force on this planet is harmony, and all harmony comes back to love. And love, according to Pastor Tony and his sacred text, is God. So when you think about if we can just stay in harmony, harmony doesn't mean no disagreements. Harmony means I've handled these disagreements with love. That's what harmony. Harmony doesn't mean the absence of I want to punch you in your face. It just means I withheld punching you in your face. We call that mercy. Okay, that's mercy, Jerome. That's and not grace. Grace is I didn't feel the need to punch you in your face. Mercy is I ought to knock you out, but I'm gonna let you make it. I'm gonna let you make it. Some of y'all ain't got that hood opinion, but you act like you don't. But we all got somebody this close to get punched in the face, and they got our same last name, and they on that other. We call them the other side of the family. Y'all know what I'm talking about. No, that's that. Susie be like, that's the other side of the family. We don't. That's them. They don't act like they don't act like us. Right? Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. They act like your family. I got the only dysfunctional family here. On the other side, that's them temples over there. They don't act right. Don't worry about them. That's the bougie ones. What we are doing is in great harmony. And I told Ina, if you could, I told you something very strong this morning. Go on Instagram. Me and Ina were talking through Instagram this morning. And I told her I told Ina before, don't trust anybody. Just don't trust people, period. Right. That was the context. You can't trust humans, right? You can't trust humans. But I had a greater meaning and she caught it today. Go ahead, Ina. Read exactly what I told you word for word. And hear this. Because this is powerful. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, actually, I told him, I trust you 1,000%.
Yep.
But and I told him, I know you told me I should not since you're a human, but I do. Then he told me, you can trust all humans, just trust them to be human. However, some humans are angels on earth. You can often tell them by their harvest, impact on others, and levels of calmness and forgiveness. And when you hear them talk, you just know.
Okay. I hear that? All humans, they're just humans. They're just what they are. You feel me? They're just all what they are. You can always trust a human to be a human. Y'all okay with that? Some humans, though, are angels on earth. They have come back to make a difference. And you can always tell them by their harvest, their impact on others, their calmness, and their levels of forgiveness. Always. Always. There's many words for these people. Rainbow body, ascended master. It's many words. It's so many words for me to go through to get you to this. Just know that some people are here because they chose to be here to change the world. And I am fortunate to have many of those people in this organization. Many of them. It makes sense, though, when you think about who I am. When you think about who I am, and how I assemble wanderers. It makes sense. It makes sense. It really makes sense. So I want to show you all a video. Like attracts like, absolutely. I want to show you all a video. But what I also want to do is I want you to see that every time you all buy a book or promote a book, you're making a huge difference. Part of the allure that I'm doing, and Anne-Marie understands this, I'm using personal power, fame. I was dumbing it down. Let me actually do what I want to do. This I feel spirit. Let me do what I want to do. What I'm actually doing is using my power on earth, disguising it in business to then make a huge difference outside of business. That's what I'm actually doing. That was all that was loaded, way loaded. Okay, way loaded. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you something. It just came in my text message while we were talking.
What's going on, beautiful people? I am joined here with another Kikafers Academy student. Please tell us about yourself.
My name is Samaya. I'm 13. I'm a 2-times published author. I am 2 grades ahead. I'm supposed to be in 8th grade. I am currently in 10th. And I came here today to tell you about the book that I read, Kofi Sai. That was donated by Antonio T. Smith Jr.
Okay, tell us what you learned from the book.
So I was reading the book yesterday, and in chapter 7, they talked about quantum entanglement and quantum superposition. And I'm not much of a physics person, but I didn't know what it was, so I decided to look it up. And I learned that quantum superposition is the theory that if you're not measuring an atom, I think it was an atom, that if you're not measuring an atom, that it can be in all states at once until you actually measure it and look at it and see what state it's currently in. And I also learned about quantum entanglement, which means that every atom in a certain area, no matter how far apart they may become later, will always be the same. So if you have an atom here and an atom there, then these 2 atoms are the same. Even if they go all the way here, they're still the same atom.
Sounds very scientific. So are you enjoying this book and would you recommend it?
Yes, I would, and it's very fun to read.
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, so we wish.
What?
Yes. Hey, y'all. Look,
That little girl is
I don't know
adorable.
much of
Absolutely adorable.
I want to
Maya
buy
is the
stock in
GOAT.
her.
I'm trying to tell you. Like,
Yeah.
I work with her. She the GOAT. I'm trying to tell y'all.
She's
She's
selling. Is
next
there any
up.
stock we can buy in her? I'd like to buy stock in her.
You gotta talk to CEO Brother Henry on that one.
Yeah, she is gifted for sure. I write my books before every one of my books. There's this message that says, I think I forgot to put it in Kofi side, but whatever, we'll see. Every one of my books, there's this message that says Easter eggs and stuff, and why you should read. Well, this probably reading my books, and it basically says Christopher Nolan is one of my biggest. Christopher Nolan is one of my biggest examples, or what you call them, influences. That's the word I'm looking for. One of my biggest influences. And if you don't know Christopher Nolan, Batman, Inception, all sorts of stuff. So I like dropping Easter eggs. But I write my books to teach extremely complex lessons to my children. My children. And what you just heard is in chapter 7. And I saw Pastor Tony put the wild emoji up. In chapter 7, I start dropping knowledge on quantum entanglement and quantum superposition, but I do it in a way, obviously, that a 13-year-old would not only understand, but get excited about. And there's a scene in there. I can't. It's one of the most powerful scenes in the book. But I write the books because my attempt is to raise the collective consciousness. And what I'm trying to do is teach my kids that, yes, killing is wrong, unless these circumstances. Yes, being angry is wrong, unless these circumstances. And these are difficult lessons to teach. The difficult lessons. And one of the main themes of Kofi Sai is this idea of interconnectedness. You see me dropping it real hard in chapter 3. Kofi goes through this this incredible ordeal inside the shadow glade, which is the worst part of the forest, and a mentor figure is dropping knowledge upon him, and there's a back forth dialogue, and then it just keeps going. One of the main themes of Kofi Sai is death and interconnectedness. It's on purpose, but Pastor Tony just talked about it. Whatever you do unto the least of these, my brother, you do also unto me. So this idea of teaching lessons has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. It's who I am. And this is how I want to end this call by going over the conversation with me and Pastor Tony that we had, and this conversation right here. I don't want to. Okay. Sean, I was told that you should be moved from the sales team to somewhere else. So Jalen just sent that to me. So I know he's worked Christian media.
Hey, that's
all right.
He's
So
gonna put me out like that. I might as well just say it now.
You
I
are
put it in
now
private
moved.
just because I thought it was private.
Well, they always get over me about reading these private messages out loud.
He don't
Jalen,
not he
I
reads
appreciate it.
private messages out loud, Jalen. Okay, I should have told you that in advance.
All right. So you now work very closely with Jalen now. All right.
Hey,
There you
Jalen's
go.
that dude, bro. Jalen's that. I see everything he's doing. That's an honor right there.
Okay.
That's a cold man.
There you go. See how fast it is.
Jalen, what did I tell you? Jalen, what did I tell you yesterday, boy? What I told you yesterday?
Hey,
Come on,
man. Talk to him, Uncle Romy Wrong.
All right. Remember, I told I wanted to build you a team of. I actually want 20 people under you anyway. So there's number one right there.
So since we're all just putting it out, I'm gonna request 21 because I want to give more help to Anne Marie.
Okay, then. So
I want to give her a project manager.
So then technically, I would need. Let's do 24. I have my reasons because Will and Sean are going to have a team. So it's going to be two Anne Maries. There'll be two Anne Maries. So you got to do two project managers. You got to do two.
Okay.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
One more thing I need to say to the group, because you being real humble. Folks, I've been born again for over 40 years. I have never heard anyone explain Christianity through quantum physics, and Antonio T. Smith did it and blew my socks off.
I got a lot of trouble in college for that, and then they wound up embracing it in seminary. That was my thing in seminary, and they wound up embracing it. I got a lot of trouble for that. In fact, I bet you I can find it while we talking. I bet you I can find it because I got everything saved because I've been using an Apple device since college. And yeah, I bet you I can find it for sure though. But I got in massive trouble for for doing that. One of my master thesis papers was about Einstein and let me see, Einstein. And it was so much like I made the mistake. Here it is right here. I made the mistake of making the argument that Jesus did not die on the cross. It's impossible that he died on the cross. Now, that was a good argument. The reason why, and I was so mad I didn't get an A plus, because it taught me something well. It taught me that it taught me that I need to learn how to argue my arguments better. I gotta fully, and that's why I think I got like a B, and I was pissed off. I was livid. Like I was livid with a B. I was so upset because it's like B plus. No, yeah, B plus. That's like it's like 15 grades away from A plus. I'm just hot. I'm hot about it. But just so y'all see, we're just gonna leave it over time. Just so y'all see, I wrote this paper in 2015 to Dr. Joshua Ferris in systematic theology. But look, 2015. And this was the thesis. This is the first part of it. December 2nd, 2015, I'm turning the paper. Einstein's general theory of relativity and how it inadvertently proves the existence of God. I've been a troublemaker a long time. a long time. Can you imagine in 2015 in college, there's this dude going into mildly progressive Baptist University saying Einstein's general theory of relativity is proven to exist in God, but I can't create anything or write anything that isn't inventive. I get bored if I don't challenge myself. I get bored. So I've been doing this stuff for quite some time. Anywho, give me like 10 minutes and I'm out of here. I told Pastor Tony, I'm sorry, I want to talk about abundance. The reason I was telling you that about Kikafers and a 13-year-old is it's not that I'm doing these things because I'm great. We're all great. It's who you are. Abundance is going to show up not in what you have, but what comes out of you and who you are. So whoever you are is just going to show up in your life. You can be an electrician. I would find a way to write incredible electric manuals or something. I don't know. Whatever you are is what you're going to do. So when Adonia does Adonia things, take out her human resources. It won't matter. She's still going to find a way. As a matter of fact, she's not human resources. And she keeps telling you every time, I don't agree with this idea of human resources. What she is a people healer. So she just navigated to human resources. This is what's happening here. This is what's happening here. You can put her anywhere. She's going to find a way to get back on the same ride, which leads me to the last point. Pastor Tony, you'll have to unmute your mic and help me out right here. Actually, save this for last. Do you have a chance to get it? Not yet. I got it pulled up. I have all the tabs pulled up. Pastor Tony, I told you something yesterday in confidence. We'll explain out loud. I told you, I don't think people realize.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, if you could.
So I'll pull up the message because I know exactly where you're going. Let me find it now. Oh, where's it? Oh, I don't think many in our company or anyone realizes that Density 6 is at the forefront of the AI revolution. And once I release one app, we immediately become part of the leaders of the pack.
Yes, but you did. That's why I told it to you. If you could.
So my response to you was, and I'll say it, that yes, basically the way I equated it to, because we both are Apple guys, and that was our conversation, was what you mean by that too is we're working an ecosystem. And when I say that, it means one thing talks to they all work together. You can grab little bits and pieces of it, but it all works together. We're building something really big. So you saw Burn Chat, you saw Phoenix, you see how little bits and pieces of one is in the other. And the way I will equate is this: if you're an Apple person, or if you have your favorite line of things, I'm an Apple guy. So I bought an iMac. Then I went out and bought an iPhone because it was just easy, because I was kind of familiar with it. Then I bought an iPad because it was just easy and I was familiar with it. Then I bought an Apple. So you'll see the trend. I got a bunch of Apple stuff. But the reason I did that is because one kind of tied to the other, but they were uniquely their own things. But because I used one, I was really confident in the quality of how the other was. And so what's really neat is, and if you've noticed, it's been in segments that Antonio has kind of delivered this to you. Burn Chat came first. About a week or so, 10 days-ish, somewhere in there. Then we got Phoenix Ion. And I've seen the forms that he sent me of all this other cool stuff. All the same universe. Even thinking film, Marvel, Disney, all these guys build a universe where one ties in another, and you get bits and pieces of it that ties in the other. Now, you can grab one and hold on to it, and it'll work just fine for you. But when you try to work something else into it that's not the same thing, it doesn't quite talk the same way. That's what's being built here. and it's massive. That Phoenix Ion, first of all, think Phoenix out of the ash. I mean, that was the first thing I said over yesterday. Phoenix rising out of the ashes. We're talking about people's credit that's been hurt or they're trying to build. You're down. The Phoenix is rebirth rising from the ashes. So now look at what that program does. It's a rebirth. It's a rise from the ashes. So not only are we going to make money off of it, which is fantastic because we all need to pay our bills. We have to render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. Pay our taxes. But the flip side is it's a huge opportunity to help folks. And I'll just share this real quick because I shared this with Antonio. I sat in October in a conference for church, and we were talking about how so many people, just from a church perspective, forget the type of religion, their spiritual lives are hurt because their credit is shot. They're in debt. They can't manage their money. And so naturally, I'm hurting, and it brings my spirit down. Now, I saw some of the stuff that's planned in that application, and some of it is, and I'll share some because but we're talking about how to be better with managing your money, how to fix your credit history. So big picture, when we sit here and we talk about how we're going to help people and be successful, this is going to raise people's spirits, regardless of what they believe, regardless of what they do. And what you'll see is, and I'll use Apple again because it's really cool because I sold for them for so long. For almost a decade, I was in that company. When you give someone something that they connect with and they feel good about, you see their whole personality change. And when they own it and they get it, and it's something that they can go, that's for me, whatever that is. I love solution-based sales and consultative selling, not even selling. I just like finding solutions for people. And that's what we're doing. Because, oh, by the way, you get on the Phoenix Ion, there's going to be messaging. Well, that's Burn Chat. Oh, you like Burn Chat and how it works? Oh, here, we offer this that will also help you in this avenue. Oh, by the way, which we've talked about, rhino leg and all this other stuff that comes down the road. You get into one, you get into the other. You get into that one, you want the other, because it all works and talks. And so what, hopefully, Antonio, if you don't mind, we're building a universe.
Right.
It's really cool because you're going to be able to come in no matter where you're at, whether you're a company or you're Joe Smith on a street corner. There's going to be a solution there for you that's going to work into what you want done. So the little guy gets it all the way up to the big guy. It's not just a niche market. It's a huge ecosystem we're building. And it does take time. Like I said, I spent a decade at Apple. My first day was when the iPhone 1 came out. And it took years for but it's a long play of building an ecosystem. And the cool thing is, we're in those, my boss used to say this, and I'll end on this one. He used to say, the good old days are right now. That's what he used to tell us when we worked at Apple. Because, there's always something new coming on. And he would always say, don't forget the good old days are right now. You're going to look back and you're going to go, man, that was so awesome. Because the good old days are right now. And we're on that path of creating this huge system through technology and AI-driven solutions, which I know there's that seminar coming up. I think I'm in the same one that you are because I'm waiting for the guy to start talking. All about how AI is just changing the world. And we are at the forefront. Nobody is really doing what we're doing on an ecosystem level. They're doing one-offs. And we're building something huge. So I would tell you, be super excited about it because it's super exciting. And I get a little excited about things if you can't tell.
There you go. Hey, that's why I had him talk, because you wouldn't believe it if I said it. Dion, you go. Then I give my closing thoughts. You said it well.
Well, I'm going to be a commercial. And I want to thank all of you who encouraged me. Yesterday, I was talking with Deanna and Antonio about, I don't understand how you guys see me. I don't. You guys lift me up. I'll just say that. And I had my talk with Phil and Susan yesterday, and it just overwhelmed me afterwards. And that's when I started talking to Antonio and Deanna. But if you want to know where you're going in life and you've taken that stand out, talk with Phil and Sue. It will give you a perspective that you haven't seen, or maybe the perspective that you have seen, but never connected the lines. So there's my spiel. There's my commercial. And I know Antonio and everybody else have said, do this. But until you actually understand that you need to do this, I think, me helping will give you that perspective. So again, thank you, Phil and Susan, for your outlook on me, your standout information to me. I appreciate it. And I'm just going to be me, but I feel like you guys have put me in such shoes that anyway.
Wait till Adonia get her hands on y'all. Y'all ain't even seen that part yet.
And I was gonna say, from the outside in, I just want you to know from the beginning, you've came in and just blossomed, starred, right? You've been your own person. You've been amazing in your own light, and we've seen you grow. And I just want to say it's a test to you for not only being coachable, but being willing to being better, right? There's a lot of people who get in these places, not just I wouldn't say just this one, but just in good places, and they don't want to be better. They say they do, but they don't do the work. So I applaud you. You've put yourself out on video. For me, as a content guy, I was like, oh man, I love that. So keep being you and keep blossoming. We love it. And Antonio, do your thing, brother.
Appreciate you. Go ahead, Phil.
Well, I just like to say that after 7 years, we're in our 7th years, it's nice to not be the only white guy.
I know, right? I know. Deanna and Adonia haven't even got started yet. Yeah, just keep y'all just wait for them. You just wait for them. Everything has a natural order. They haven't even got started yet on what they're gonna do. So this just a like finish shoes need to finish. You can't. You got to put the flour in first, then you got to put the sugar. Like you know what I'm saying. You can't just throw them all in at the same time. It'll pop up in the air. You got to.
Antonio, I can't wait to meet her. I can't wait. I cannot wait to meet her. I feel every bit of her heart, her soul. I want to hug her. I want to high five her. I want to do a dance with her because the two of us, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I feel everything that came out of her mouth.
You look forward to.
Whatever word you want to put on it, I cannot wait.
Absolutely. Deanna, she's talking about you. So you receive that. You receive that. Deanna, give me 5 minutes. I want to be done at 10:22. Here. Let's go. Well, we're not going back to anything, but let's just pick up with Pastor Tony left off. I actually, when I created his email, I literally created as Pastor Tony because I knew his impact. I knew his impact that he was going to have, and I wanted to make sure that would be said. But anyway, we are at the forefront. If you want to understand what the AI revolution is, Susan, you just need to think about Internet 1996, because that's where we are again. That's what we are. If you're thinking about the world today, the AI revolution is Internet 1996. AOL hasn't even sent out a CD to your house yet. This is where we are. Like this is where we are. And this is how close to the beginning we are. And while you see everybody releasing apps, no, that's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. There's only one I'm still going to be true. There's only one artificial intelligence company. Well, now there's two. There's only two. There's Microsoft, which is OpenAI, because Microsoft has 100 billion in OpenAI. And then there's Google, which is Bard, and now there's going to be X, which is Elon. Okay. So only three companies. That means only Google and only Elon Musk company are the only companies not API in OpenAI. When OpenAI is down, all these companies are down. So I need y'all to receive. We don't use OpenAI. Every bit of artificial intelligence in this company is in Synci AI, which I don't know nothing about. That's Antonio. Every bit of it. I want you to hear me well. There's only, Deanna, if you say something, come on, come on, go ahead. Go ahead.
I personally want to know, how does one API in Sync AI?
Coming soon. I need to finish training my models. That's what these apps coming out for. Coming
That's
soon.
what I needed. That's what I needed.
API,
Okay.
in simple terms, just means how can I sync my Facebook and my Instagram together, so when I post a story on one page, it posts on the other. Okay. Application protocol interface, I think is what API stands for, something like that.
I want every one of my apps to use in Sync AI, so that's why I need to.
All of our stuff is powered by our own artificial intelligence. What I'm trying to tell you is, until you show me otherwise, Canva is using OpenAI. This isn't this. That's the fastest way to do something, fastest way to make money. That's not what we're doing. For whatever reason, I don't know why God has done this, but I am absolutely addicted to inventing things. And nobody is smarter than me. And no, that's not me saying this. That's Steve Jobs. I'm in the video. I'm in the call with that. It's important for y'all to know we're not just at the forefront. The moment we drop one of these apps, we are part of the leaders. I cannot stress this enough, because we're not using the back end of anybody else. There's no third parties. The inventions that we are inventing are astronomical. And I'm about to show you on the screen. Go ahead, Phil.
Pioneer teacher.
Pioneer teacher. That's my standout assessment, y'all. I wish they did 7 years ago. That's my standout assessment. Just so you see, here is the actual code of just one of the modules. It's okay. I can show it. It's not a problem because it's not even complete yet. You don't understand none of this. I just need you to get that I have imported so much machine learning models that this should tell you how intelligent this code is. Whenever you see import this, let me just help you out. This is encryption. This is some stuff I made up. This is you know what NLP stands for? That's Chat GPT. This is a natural language processor that I'm building. Import NLP module, hypothetical module. It's mine. It's mine. Reinforcement learning module. Guess who made that up? Me. This. And so what I did was, just remember, this is called modules right here. Well, you could probably, in a way. Not high video panel. Show video panel. Hide floating menu. There we go. Right here, this is called module.py. Okay. I don't have a single error in the code. I got some warnings because I need to do some pip commands with this stuff in the yellow. There's not a single error in this code. Not a single error in any of these codes. Not a single one. Now, just to show you,
Pastor Tony said sentiment intensity and analyzer. I know
that's okay. That's okay. Because
I read your code lines. I can understand it a little.
Yes. I'm only going to take 3 more minutes. I tell you, I want to end at 10:26. You're trying to get me because the conference is at 10:30, and so okay. I'm not going to miss it. Even if I miss a little bit, they're going to give introductions in the beginning anyway, and it's 2 hours long. So what I did was I put in the Chat GPT the thing, because unless you, there's a lot more I need to teach you about ChatGPT, but here it is. Model.py, as you saw it. Please write a sales copy for this code so I can explain it to my customers. I meant employees, but anyway, here y'all go. Financial simulator, financial scenario simulator. Everybody see that? Okay, now watch this here. Come back to the code. After you get past these imports, his performance monitor, this is just me making sure that the stuff ain't breaking on me. And then right here, AI-driven financial health monitoring model, financial health monitoring, and then all that stuff. And then we can go down. Let's see. Then the financial simulator should be right around here. That's the chat bot. Okay. Now, just watch this. So you know this is the financial simulator because it's on the screen. So what I had ChatGPT do was just break it down. Can you please explain to us what the heck is going on here? All right, simple. Discover the future of your finances. We're going to skip most of this. Welcome to the financial scenario simulator, an innovative tool Density 6 is using to do some great things. What are those great things? Personalizing your credit predictions. You've seen that before, but we're doing it in a little bit different way. Ever wanted a new loan, paying off a credit card? What it's going to do? You've seen these models. Then, Susan, this is where Antonio start acting like pioneer teacher. Because it's not just enough to have a simulator, but now, Phil, we got to tailor financial situations, not only just to you, but how the money is coming into what you're bringing. So every time you add a new database into the new thing into the database, it tailors it to you. Imagine having an app that is individualized for every single person who uses it. Every time you make a different choice, you get a different impact. Every time you do a different thing, you get a different impact. Every time you make a different decision, you get a different impact. So now this one app, if 20 million people are using the one app, it's actually 20 million apps. Data-driven solutions with that safe and secure, user-friendly, blah, blah, blah. Then I said, hey, is there anything else you can add to this based on our code? We want to be thorough. And I put the code that he just, I put the thing saved. Said, sure, certainly. Let's enhance this. All right. Elevate your financial decisions. So now it's telling you this is a comprehensive thing. And now it's telling you the model continuously learns, the customized simulation, and then it tells you what's really going on behind the scenes.
Excuse me, Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
I was just telling Alice back in the day when you used to buy a program, when you used to buy a computer, they used to give you a manual with that. And I was telling her, what you're doing with that code is you're putting it in AI, and AI is basically writing you a manual for the code. So you can explain it to the people. So my brain just said to me, Mr. Smith, is there something that you're including in Density 6 and all of these things that you're doing, Rhino Lag and Burn Chat and all that, that the customer can click on so that stuff is there? Because I told her, I was using my iPhone. I said, this is a powerful tool, but if you don't know how to use this powerful tool, it's just a tool. And you want people to know how powerful what you're offering them is. And if you got something in it that they can click on, they can go, wait a minute, it can do that. Wait a minute, it can do that. I didn't. So I just, that's where my brain went, Mr. Smith, because in our technology today, all of these companies out here are no longer giving people owner's manuals. So people get stuff and you got to go online. You got to go to YouTube. You got to go to something to try to figure out. But if they can go in, you probably already ahead of me, Mr. Smith.
No. I wouldn't say ahead of you. I'm just going to say that thank you for saying it, so I can continue to put a great emphasis on it.
Because you will be different. You will be going back. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm like Pastor Tony. I'm the guy back in the day that when I got a piece of equipment, when I got something, the first thing I did was open up the instructions. The first thing I did was go into the manual to see what was there. Then I started playing with it.
Oh, I can relate. I used to get a CD and pop open that thing up and see who wrote the song. Yeah,
so
I get you.
That just hit me, sir. I just wanted to. So
no,
hope
for sure. No. The reason I'm doing it is for Anne Marie, actually. because she's got to create content. So like that's why. So yeah, because we're gonna do all sorts of articles and blogs and all sorts of stuff. So I was doing that from the customer perspective, but I would make sure now, for the customer perspective, it'll be inside the app in itself, like a whole little section for that. Deanna, I'm 1 minute over, 2 minutes over now.
Antonio,
I just want y'all to know. Yes, ma'am.
you need to, now that you explain more, you need to look at those links that I sent you.
You talking about the marketplace thing or whatever it was called? Yeah, I got you. I sure will. Just in super closing, I just want y'all to know we're not a regular company. I don't really know what to say after that. So don't really know what to say after that. You can't play it better. You can't dominate. I don't really know what to say after that. So, it kind of speaks for itself.
My response would be, duh.
Yeah. So there you go. Hopefully you still ever here. Appreciate you, and just keep checking out Harvest. And you know where you come from, and you know what we are. So there you go. Love you, everybody.
Love you more.
Love you
All
more.
right, y'all have a good one. Let's go get it.
More.